But you're speaking about funds there. I think I was watching an interview with the Man City's Chief Football Operations Officer. I think his name was Omar Barada. And he said that the era of that City extravagant spending is now over. So can he then rebuild a team without those funds, Matt?
Well, I certainly think he's got enough talent in the squad that if he needs to generate money himself, he's got enough players there that can generate some cash for him if he feels he needs to, go about changing the dynamics of the squad at all. And he's certainly a guy who can coach, who can improve players on a day-to-day basis. So there's no reason why he shouldn't be able to build another side capable of winning the Premier League and challenging Liverpool again.
But he is in unprecedented times. I mean, this is the longest he's ever been in a football club ever. And he just thinking about the fact that he is in his last season in terms of his contract as well. And we were talking again about losing that mojo. Is there a shelf life to Pep Guardiola's magic, so to speak, Sylvain?
Well, I think Guardiola is in a perfect position anyway. You've got the trust from the club, you've got the love from the fans, you've got the financial backing from the club. I know they said that the spending would not be the same as it has been, but you have to look at what they spent in the past 5 or 6 years, and you'll understand that it's not finished. And even if they want to spend less money, how are they going to achieve that? By trying to recruit the best players. All the best players have a price. I can't see many players from the academy coming out neither, so they'll have to spend the money. They're going to try and be a bit more careful and cautious, but they will spend the money if they need to rebuild the team. It's no other choice.
But the thing is, like I said, he is in an area of his career where he's not very used to. He's never been before. And the thing about Pep Guardiola is we have seen him taking breaks. He has suffered from burnouts before. I mean, he's taken breaks between his jobs after Barcelona, after Bayern Munich. I mean, Matt, can that flame really keep burning for that long?
I mean, it must be pretty intense. I mean, I can't speak from experience, having not been a manager, but I can see from the outside looking in, and I can see from a player's perspective that being a manager is a real 24/7 job. This is a completely different world to being a player and turning up at 10 o'clock in the morning, doing your training, and then leaving by 1 o'clock. This is a job that really does take it out of you. And you're right, he has taken breaks in between his jobs before. And I guess it all depends on how enthusiastic he still feels about it, what drive and what passion is still within him to be able to go about, he's won back-to-back titles already, but Liverpool came and really, took it to them, beat them by a lot of points last season. And it's whether or not he's got that energy and that passion for the challenge to then try and bridge that gap of those 18, I think, points it was last season, to try and topple Liverpool again and go on to become a real legend in the Premier League. We've had managers in this Premier League before who have gone on for long periods of time. Sir Alex Ferguson, Arsene Wenger were there for many, many years, very successful, and they managed to be able to cope with it. And so it's not beyond the realms of possibility that Pep might be able to do that at some point as well, if he feels like he's at a club where he feels at home and he can. I think the important thing is probably that he has people around him that he can delegate things to. I'm not quite so sure just how good he is at that, because he feels like a manager to me wants to control every single bit of things. But I think if he's going to have a bit more longevity, then I think he has to learn to maybe let go of a little bit of control here and there and trust the people around him to do some jobs for him.
Do you still see that passion in him then, Sylvain?
Yeah, definitely. I think he's not forced to be here because he wants to be here. And I think he's enjoying the challenge, but he's a really intense manager. He's demanding a lot from his players and from himself as well. All the players will know that and say the same. And that's just like a tool. It's difficult to always be 200%. It's difficult to always be at the same intensity, and that might waste time, and especially if it doesn't reach his goals, that might just be a little bit too much for him. Yeah. Is
his goals the Champions League then this season, Sylvain?
They have to. We all know that's what City wants: the league and the Champions League, to do a double. that's what they aim for season after season. But they manage to be quite consistent in the league now. But in the Champions League, they're not there yet.
Why do you think that is then? Why has Man City always struggled in the Champions League, barely getting past the quarterfinals most of the time, Matt?
It's a really strange one because you can see, especially when they were dominating the Premier League, it was just really strange to see them, not be able to go those extra steps in the Champions League. They almost seem to perhaps not change and not adapt their style to the Champions League football. I think was probably one of the biggest key points. They kind of just wanted to go and play like they did in the Premier League, and the teams were playing a little bit differently against them. And they just believed that they can go out free-flowing, outscore teams. But there were other teams of really good quality attacking players, and they were just been able to expose the deficiencies in Manchester City's back line at times. And that's been one of the major mysteries of the last few years, how Manchester City, with the squad that they've assembled and the manager that they've got, have not gone on to win the Champions League yet.